Hi guys, in this video we're gonna be doing a piano tutorial on the song 7 Rings. Check it out. My name is Diego from the Hit Music Studio, and in this channel we regularly do song tutorials and videos with tips and techniques to get you guys to learn music the fastest and the easiest way possible. So please consider subscribing. Let's go to a close-up of the piano so we can get started. So great song, at the same time a little bit probably on the challenging side because of the amount of black notes, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. 4 C sharps. I'm playing what's called an octave. Is the same letter played twice, but on the bottom and then here on the top. This is middle C, by the way, so I'm playing to the left of middle C and then a little bit to the right. Now, part of what you're doing here is playing very steady those notes, and if you are younger and you have a little bit of a hard time reaching those notes, it's okay to move your wrist a little bit. Now, for an adult, it's easier to reach this distance. In this song, you're not playing those notes at the same time, so I think you should be able to just move your hand a little bit to reach them. So again, 4 C sharps, very steady, then 4 A's in the same way, then 4 F sharps, and then it changes. So remember my tutorials, I try to do them in sections, so I almost, the idea is that you can pause the video, practice that, and then play the video and keep on going to the next section. So after you do this 4 F sharps, there's like a quick note. Just gonna be G to G sharp. Fairly quickly, you're gonna go. So after you play those two, you do that G sharp on this part, and then you do G sharp on the bottom again, and then technically that note, let's call it C. In this key should be called something different, but let's call it C just to not confuse people. So again, if I do this part, there's gonna be 4 F sharps. Quickly a G to an F sharp, to a G sharp on the top, G sharp on the bottom, and then that note. So let me play that second section from the F sharps, and then we'll do it completely. So again, it sounds like this. So I would practice just that section because of that passing note, the G sharp on the top, another G sharp on the bottom, and then that C. It can get a little confusing. Now let me go ahead and play that first section. That's the first time that we do that. It changes a little bit the second time, but let me play it so you guys have it. And that's when we start the second part. Now the second part, let me show you the right hand first, and then we'll put it together. So right hand is going to be G sharp and E at the same time. Now we're gonna hold that for technically 6 beats. The beats are going a little bit on the faster side, if the way that I'm counting them. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm playing 2 notes at the same time. So I'm playing G sharp and E, passing through G sharp and D sharp quickly and going into A and C sharp. And now we'll practice just that multiple times. And then, and maybe repeat that so you get comfortable with it. 2. Now the next section is very similar. You hold this 2 and you're gonna go quickly through the E and C sharp into D sharp and B to an C sharp and A. So it sounds like this. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. C sharp and A, you hold it. And then we're gonna have these 2 notes, E and C sharp, into D sharp and C. So it's like that, it's technically a chromatic. So let me do it a little bit like with tempo so you guys can see it. So that should give you the idea. Remember that in the settings of the video, you can slow it down so you can see it again if you need to. My suggestion there would be to make sure that when you lift and move, keep your hand in the same shape. You don't want to lift and shrink and then try to reach the other one. This is a very common distance on piano. So when you play it, keep that distance almost in your hand. So that way it's almost like, let's say you had a cast, you're kind of like keeping it. It is challenging to play two notes moving like that if you've never done it, but at the same time, be patient and practice probably in sections. Now, the left is gonna be, I guess, somewhat on the challenging side because it goes very similar than the right, but you're still doing the bottom note. So let me show you what I mean. So you're gonna do so there, part of the trick, I guess, is that you need to move quickly because you're gonna play in this note and you have those two passing ones. So when you do this two passing, the next one is all the way over here. So you have to technically do C sharp, another C sharp, and then do these two notes quickly, which will be C sharp and be ready to move to this A, which that's a little bit of a distance. So it's this. And again, I will probably practice just that little section so you can move. So the passing notes there, those two are the first ones. On the second chunk, you're gonna do A, G sharp to this F sharp. So my suggestion would be to probably practice, because that's gonna be the hardest part of the left hand. So doing this and reaching to that note. So we're talking about C sharp, B to A. Then you can do A and G sharp to F sharp. And then after that, I think you don't really have the next passing ones. There's going to be two F sharps, 4 of them, and then G sharps, technically 3, because the last one, that's one changes to C. So let me do left hand by itself so you can see it with the drum beat. So let me play with two hands slowly so you guys can see it. And then it repeats. So let me go ahead and do it with drums. That keeps repeating. So definitely my suggestion on this one will be to be very, very patient. We're talking about uncomfortable positions if you've never done it. So I think part of the trick is go very, very little sections and be okay. It may take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it takes. I think it's important to be okay with that process, because if you practice regularly and consistently and correctly, I think you will be able to get it. It's just a matter of time. So we hope the video was easy to follow along. Remember, we do these tutorials to help you guys to learn music that is current. If you want another tutorial just like this one, click or tap right here. For another video that can get your skills playing piano to the next level, you can click or tap right here. We hope to see you guys soon. Take care.